Good evening, and we begin at 5 with a plan to turn a hotel into new housing for homeless people. Leaders in Clackamas County are set to vote on it Thursday, though as with any project like this, there are a lot of opinions, including some pushback. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Laurel Porter. The hotel is just off I-205 in Clackamas. Supporters say it's close to services and public transit, but there is concern about how close it is to some businesses. Tim Gordon starts us off tonight. Tim, where do things stand ahead of this crucial vote?
Well, ahead of the vote, one county commissioner, Ben West, has come out against it. We've not heard of other commissioners doing the same. So we'll see on Thursday whether they vote to approve this Quality Inn becoming transitional housing. This Quality Inn near I-205 and Sunnyside Road is in pretty good shape and open for business. It's where Clackamas County wants to take advantage of state money in a project turnkey grant to buy the hotel and turn it into transitional housing for the homeless. After a lot of planning and community outreach, the deputy director of the county's Health, Housing, and Human Services Department hopes commissioners vote yes.
My message to them is let's work together to make a historic investment in transitional housing so that we can get people off the streets, give them a safe, stable, and secure place to sleep, and access to the critical services that they need to recover and move on to permanent housing.
The location is near transportation and services, including the county's health clinic. Kaiser Permanente's Sunnyside Medical Center is across the street. It and other businesses and organizations favor the plan. But not all in this strip mall of businesses agree with it, including one business owner I talked to off camera. And one woman who was in the area for lunch feels Oregon has become a draw for homeless folks from elsewhere.
Nope, they need to go back to their homes. You know, we've got way too many and it's just getting worse.
But another resident sees the value in the first of its kind transitional housing in Clackamas County.
I think it's a good idea. It gets people off the street that need the help to find a place to go to where they can transition back in and get back out into society and make things work again.
Back at the hotel, we found that some guests are already staying here through voucher programs, including Lori White, who came out of a hospital stay needing a new place to live. She says homeless folks are transitioning here too.
And I think a lot of these people are like me who really need the help and are going to use it well. And I think they deserve to feel safe and to get the help they need. So yeah, to make it a whole 100% that with a couple little adjustments, I think it'd be a great idea.
As for Brown, he knows people have concerns about homelessness and what comes with it for communities. A price tag for this property, $15 million. And again, the county looking to take advantage of a state grant to make it happen. If it happens, we'll keep you posted on that vote on Thursday. Back to you.
Thank you, Tim. New numbers out today emphasize the need for solutions in the homeless crisis. Multnomah County and Street Roots released their annual report on the number of homeless people who died. It is the largest number since the county started counting in 2011.
So the report says 193 people experiencing homelessness died in 2021. That is up from 126 in 2020. Substance abuse continues to play a significant factor here. According to the county, meth was involved in 93 of the deaths, nearly half. Fentanyl is responsible for 36 deaths. That's up from only 4 in 2020. Now, 2021 was also the deadliest year when it came to homicides among people who are homeless. That number more than doubled from 8 in 2020 to 18 in 2021.
One thing homeless campers won't be getting as much of anymore: tents and tarps from the city. Here's the reason why: homeless campfires. This video from yesterday shows one fire burning out of control underneath the Morrison Bridge. Blair Best spoke with Commissioner Renee Gonzalez about the ban that's now in place for the foreseeable future.
Every morning, like clockwork, Tristan Morganroth chops scrapwood for his campfire.
Cold is freezing. It's freaking, you gotta start fires, so you gotta get firewood, pallets.
He's been homeless under the Morrison Bridge for months, fighting to stay warm the only way he knows how.
Campfires, the burn barrels and everything like that, and layers like an onion.
On Tuesday, a fire like his got out of control at a nearby camp, burning up tents and tarps. It's what prompted new Portland City Commissioner Renee Gonzalez to now ban distribution of tents and tarps from the agencies within the public safety bureaus he oversees.
I'd like to see him freaking come out here and do that. Try to survive without no tarp.
This decision comes as each city bureau is under review to see if they're supporting the mayor's $27 million plan to ban unsanctioned homeless camping and build large sanctioned campsites instead. Through the review, they found the outreach group Portland Street Response, which Commissioner Gonzalez oversees, has been handing out roughly 1,200 tents and tarps every year.
We are hopeful that this will lead to broader discussion inside all of those supporting the homeless community in the region.
Gonzalez also cites the dangers of homeless campfires. He says recent data shows more than 30% of deaths from fires in Portland are homeless people. He's encouraging people to use warming centers instead.
Do we have enough warming centers to handle the number of homeless people on our streets?
Anybody who wants a spot in a warming center will have a spot, even if that means we have to go over fire code in terms of maximum occupancy in extreme cold events.
Tents and tarps have been a point of controversy in the city for some time now. Several months ago, a group of Portlanders with mobility disabilities sued the city over tents and tarps blocking ADA access on the sidewalks. Now, the attorney behind that case met with the city yesterday, just hours before Commissioner Gonzalez made this announcement. Blair Best, KGW News.
It appears voters in Clark County have approved a levy to build affordable housing. We just got an update from Tuesday's special election. The latest numbers show this one passing with nearly 54% of the vote. It is a replacement tax levy that will raise $100 million over 10 years. And right now there's a wider margin for the Vancouver Public Schools levy, which also appears on track to pass. More than 57% voted yes. If it hadn't passed, the district says it would have had to cut several programs and staff members.
Hundreds of people turned out today for the memorial service of a Gresham firefighter. Brandon Norbury went into cardiac arrest while on duty a couple weeks ago during a training exercise. Let's bring in Brian Clerkley in Gresham this evening. Brian, Norbury was a father, a former Navy SEAL who devoted his life to public service.
That's right, David. Norbury's death was a shock to the department. They did everything they could to save him, but the 50-year-old still died. And today, dozens of first responders celebrated his life, and they talked about his legacy within the community. A fallen firefighter, a community coming together to pay its respects to Brandon Norbury. The service started with a procession. It went down Main Street through downtown Gresham. American flags waving in the wind, firefighters, police, and citizens thanking Norbury for his service. He died after going into cardiac arrest while training.
It gives closure, I think, really to the fire service folks. It's obviously the family always wants closure, but it's like, on this part, it's like we want to all pay our respects and find that closure.
As the procession moved down Main Street, bagpipes played, fire trucks and police cars followed. You could see firefighters standing in salute. Karen Javernick, all the way from Canyon City, Colorado, came to pay her respects.
Because Brandon is from Canyon City, Colorado. We've known his family since he was a tiny little boy. We grew up with him. He went to school with our kids.
Javernick says even though she hasn't seen Norbury in years, it was still very important to be here.
And we just kind of lost contact, but when we saw this, we just felt we had to do
it. Inside the memorial at East Hill Church, the traditional firefighter pipe and drum band played, celebrating an entire life of public service. Norbury had been a Navy SEAL, then 7 years as a Gresham police officer before spending his last 15 as a Gresham firefighter. It was a life that ended too soon.
His soul and his spirit connected when he joked with you. That was his way. Those who were close with him understood that.
Firefighter Norbury is survived by his daughter and a brother. David, Laurel.
It's clear he touched so many lives. Thank you, Bryant.